2, 1, now live. What I learned at the hill where Joseph found the plates. Have you ever gone back to a place you thought you knew, only to realize it's something completely different? Now, that happened to me just a couple weeks ago at the hill Cumorah. The first time I was there, it was just another church history site. I'm being honest, because I was an anti-member. It didn't really mean much to myself. The second time, which was just a few weeks ago, it became a personal message from God about my testimony, my trials, and why we can't quit when the climb gets hard. And I think it's a message you might need today as I'm out here baking in 90-degree sun doing this lesson, but I'm going and doing. Hi, family. Welcome back. I'm Dennis Schleicher, a convert to the church, and this is my way of growing and learning, is sharing this message with all of you. If you're new here, could you please hit the like button and also subscribe for more faith-based content? Today, we're going to talk about Hill Cumorah and Angel Moroni and the gold plates, but more importantly, what these things can teach us about endurance, perspective, and staying rooted in the gospel, even when life gets hard. I hope my phone isn't overheating. The color is looking a little dim at the moment, so bear with me. Now, I'm not there right now, but I want to take you back to the second visit and what I saw. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move somewhere where there is less sun because I don't want my phone to overheat. So bear with me. Let's go on a little journey. And I'm going to show you something funny later that when I got out of the car today for church, I realized that I had forgotten to take something off. Only Dennis. I only say there's one Dennis, and I bang to the beat of my own drum sometimes. All right, let me just re-angle this again. All this work, but it's worth it. Hey, Jesus didn't say joining his church was going to be easy, but it sure is rewarding. That's one thing I got to say. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever gone back to a place, physical or spiritual, that meant more to you the second time? Type yes in the chats if you've had that experience. The first time I went to Hill Cumorah, I didn't fully understand the significance. Yes, I knew the story briefly of Joseph Smith was led there by Angel Moroni to receive the plates, but it didn't click on a soul deep level. Do you understand that? Or does that resonate with you? Or am I just banging to the beat of my own drum? The second time was completely different. By then, I had grown in the gospel, just about to celebrate my 8 years of being baptized. I was telling my bishop today, I said, goodness, I'm old enough to get baptized in the church now because I'm 8 years in the church. But then I've grown in the gospel. I've experienced trials that have forced me to lean on Christ in a new way. As I stood there, I pictured Joseph making that climb, not with paved paths, not with modern convenience, but with determination, faith, and the call of God. And it hit me. Our spiritual climbs are no different. They all are very similar to what Joseph went through. In Joseph Smith history, section 1, verses 51 through 54, it reads about how Moroni visited Joseph and told him where the plates were buried. But Joseph didn't get them right away. Now, I'm going to branch off of this. I'm feeling prompted to share something. I was talking to my friend Cynthia yesterday. She was at my living endowment with her husband. I've only met her 3 times, but she's a really close friend of mine. I was telling her about the first vision, that there's multiple accounts of the first vision. And I said, that's what makes it true to me. Because the first vision, all these paintings you see, it's glorious and green and lush and the light. But let's be real, it was April. There were no leaves on the trees. April is like doom and gloom sometimes. But the one thing that makes the first vision real is that there are different accounts. Because if it was scripted, it would have been made up. It's like when I used to play on a soap opera as a kid, it was scripted. It was scripted, so it was made up. Because there's multiple versions of the first vision, that tells me that it's real because he experienced it. But every time he told the story, it may have been just a little bit different because there's your story, my story, and the truth. So that stuck in with myself, and I needed to share that. So when Joseph went back every year for 4 years, receiving instruction, growing in humility, and preparing for his mission. There's a pattern here. God often calls us before we're even ready, and then he walks with us as we become ready. In Doctrine and Covenants, section 88, verse 63 says, quote, draw near unto me, and I will draw near unto you. Seek me diligently, and ye shall find me, close quote. That's the climb, seeking him one step at a time. And this links directly to James chapter 4, verse 8 in the Bible. Quote, draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Close quote. Talking about Moses spending 40 years in the wilderness before leading Israel, or Nephi returning again and again to get the brass plates. Sometimes the climb is our preparation. What's a time in your life when God called you to do something before you felt ready? Let me know. And Jenny, happy Sabbath to you. And thank you for being a monthly contributor. It really makes a lot of difference. And I'm noticing that I'm getting paid from YouTube every month now. So that means a lot to me. It helps. Share a quick thought in the chats. What's a time in your life when God called you to do something before you felt ready? What is your Hilcomore? What's the thing God has asked you to do that feels uphill, maybe even impossible right now? It might be forgiving somebody. It might be starting a new calling. It might be standing firm in your beliefs when you're surrounded by doubt. Standing firm in your belief. Forgive me, I have to stay hydrated. When you're surrounded by doubt. That's a good one. Here's something I've learned. On that visit to Hilcomore, I overheard friends complaining about the climb, and it reminded me of advice someone once gave me. Dennis, I'll give you 5 minutes for a pity party, and then you're done. That's it. That's it. You're done. That's life. We can acknowledge the pain, but we bring it back to the gospel and keep moving and pressing forward, just like Joseph did, just like Nephi did, just like all the apostles in the Bible, Peter, James, and John, Jesus. They kept going and doing, going and doing. Today, let's look at some modern parables, excuse me. We might not be hiking up a hill in Palmyra, but the principle's the same. We face spiritually. We climb every day. We face opposition, distraction, and doubt. Doctrine and Covenants, section 88, verse 87 says, quote, if your eye be single to my glory, your whole bodies shall be filled with the light. Close quote. That's how we climb, keeping our eyes fixed on Christ. It's the same principle taught in Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. When our eyes is singled to God, we're full of his light, no matter how steep that path may feel. I met a couple during that visit who thanked me for sharing my testimony online. I told them, it's not about me, it's about him. That's what this is all about, pointing people to Jesus. Who's someone that has helped you keep your eyes single to Christ? For me, it's my bishop. It's my past stake president and my current stake president. It's my good friends. I surround myself with good. So type the name of just yes in the chats if someone comes to mind. In Alma chapter 37, verse 6 says, quote, by small and simple things are great things brought to pass, close quote. Joseph's climb was small and simple thing in that moment, but brought forth the Book of Mormon, another testament of Jesus Christ. And Doctrine and Covenants, section 88, verse 119 adds, quote, organize yourself, prepare every needful thing, and establish a house of God, close quote. Preparation matters. Whether you're building a temple, climbing a hill, or building your own testimony, God asks us to prepare, to organize, and to keep our focus on him. The small, faithful acts you do, bringing your testimony, ministering to neighbors, sharing a scripture on social media, can have eternal ripple effects. So here's my invitation for you this week. Identify your hill Cumorah, climb it, and when you reach the top, share what you've learned with someone else. If you're willing to do that, type I'm climbing in the chats or comments. I testify that Jesus Christ is with us in every climb, that the restored gospel is true, that the Book of Mormon and the Holy Bible work together to testify of him. Even if your climb feels steep right now, remember, you're not alone. God has got your back. And just like Joseph on the hill, he's preparing us for something greater than we can see today. If this message encouraged you, share it with a friend who needs a reminder to keep climbing. Let's keep lifting each other and filling the world with light. I want to get to your comments, and then I'm going to show you something really funny I did. Judy, hello. Thank you for joining. Be sure to watch this from the beginning if you didn't see the full live yet. That's one is a wonderful um, composition to the Spirit Special Hill. Thank you for giving us something to ponder. I was told to move to this country away from family. Then my husband left, but I knew God had a plan. Thank you, Karen. So I'm going to show you what I did really funny today. I'm a really prudent shopper and I don't spend a lot of money on things, even though I may look jazzy. But what I did was when I was at church today, I realized I had the tags on my pants. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how embarrassing is this? So I left it on for you. Look, my pants cost me $10. And aren't they pretty cool? I don't know if you can see those. But yeah, that is that's where I'm at. I'm a bargain shopper. Only $10. And I gotta say, this handkerchief was probably 99 cents. This little guy was probably $1.99. I don't spend a lot of money on this. Well, I pray that you enjoy your Sabbath today. I'm going to go enjoy mine, and I'm going to actually do it with ministering. I'm going to minister to my sisters that I minister to because I was inspired. I got a new companion in church today, my bishop, my former bishop, and I felt that was such a blessing that I have my bishop as my companion brother to go out and minister. So we're going to schedule some time in September to go out and visit everyone. And I'm so excited because I have a feeling I'm just going to learn so much from him. And he's so humble. He said to me, "Oh, Dennis, I doubt you're going to learn anything from me." But yeah, so I have a new companion, my bishop, my old bishop, I should say. Well, thank you for all of your comments. And Karen, great looking pants. Yes, bargains are life changing. They really are. I I don't I don't pay full price for anything. Even this jacket I think cost me like under 19 bucks. Have a lot of fun doing that. Go enjoy your Sabbath. Make the best of it, and I'll see you next time.